In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an introduction to sine, cosine, and tangent. Before we get started, we need to look at some vocabulary words, the first of which is the word opposite. So what side is opposite of angle B? The word opposite, you could consider it meaning as across from. So if we take a look at angle B, the side that is across from or opposite angle B is 33, or AC. The next word we're going to take a look at is the word adjacent. Now adjacent means next to, but not the hypotenuse. The adjacent side is never the hypotenuse in trigonometry, so if we take B, we want to find what's adjacent or next to it. We'll look at 56. 56 is the adjacent side, or CB. The last word to review is the word hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always across from or opposite the right angle. So our right angle is indicated by the right angle symbol. If we go across from the right angle symbol or opposite of it, we will end up landing on 65, or side AB. So the first trigonometric function we're going to look at is sine. The sine of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So what is sine of B? Well, we take B and we look for the opposite of B, because first it's a fraction. So the opposite of B, or the opposite side of B, is 33. So we get 33 over the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is across from the 90-degree angle, so our hypotenuse is 65. So sine of B is equal to 33 over 65, the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Let's take a look at our second trigonometric function, which is cosine. Cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side to the angle over the hypotenuse. So let's find cosine of B. So again, we circle B as our angle. We find the adjacent side, so adjacent to B is 56, over the hypotenuse, again, is across from the right angle, so it is going to be 65. So we get 56 over 65. And our last function we're going to take a look at together is tangent. Tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side of the angle over the adjacent side to the angle. So tangent of B, we find the side that is opposite of B, or 33, over the side that is adjacent to B. The side that is adjacent to B is the 56 because it's next to the B. So tangent of B is equal to 33 over 56. A quick way to remember this is using the word SOHCAH. So, SOH stands for sine of x is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. C, cosine, is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, that's the COH. And TOA, tangent, is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Got several for you to try, the first of which is this one right here. Go ahead and try this one out, pausing the video, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. So a good way to do these is to remember that word SOHCAH. We're looking at the SOH part since it's sine. So sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So sine A, we find A. We're looking for the opposite sides. We follow the angle across and we land on 45 over the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is always across from that right angle, so our hypotenuse is 53. Here's another one for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video, work it out, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. Again, we're going to write out the word SOHCAH. Cosine's the C, so we're looking at the CAH portion, which means the cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we look at the angle A. We're looking for the side that's adjacent to A. Now notice it cannot be the 53 because the 53 is the hypotenuse. So the cosine of angle A, we find the side that is adjacent to A. That means it's the 27, or excuse me, the 28 because it's next to the A. So we go 28 over the hypotenuse. Now our hypotenuse is 53 because it's across from our right angle. So 28 over 53. And tangent of A. Go ahead and find tangent of A. Tangent, if you remember, is the TOA portion. So tangent is equal to the opposite. The O stands for opposite over the A stands for adjacent. So we find angle A. We go to the opposite side, which is 45, over the adjacent side, which is 28. Got a couple more for you to try. They're a little bit out of order. The triangle's been flipped around. Go ahead and find me sine B, pausing the video, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. Again, sine. Remember SOHCAH, TOA. SOH stands for sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So if we find the angle B in this case, since it's sine of B, we find the side that is opposite of B, which is 12, over the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is across from that right angle, so the hypotenuse is 15. Here's another one. Go ahead and pause the video, work it out, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. Cosine, C stands for cosine, so we're looking at CAH. Our cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we find angle S. We find the side that is adjacent to S, so that's 16. Notice it cannot be the 34 since the 34 is across from the right angle. That means the 34 is the hypotenuse. So 16 is going to be adjacent to S, so it's going to be 16 over the hypotenuse, which is 34. And our last example, go ahead and find tangent R, pausing the video, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. So tangent R, remember tangent is the TOA portion, so tangent is going to equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Again, looking at SOHCAH TOA. TOA, O is opposite, A is adjacent, so we look at angle R. We find the opposite side is 24, and the adjacent side is 10, so we get 24 over 10.